So in this video, I'm going to try to answer a question. Do we know how to ask Claude the right question to properly analyze a document, whether it's a PDF, an Excel file, or any other document that a company uses to create reports? You know that we're used to clicking here to simply upload a file and ask it to summarize the file. But did you know that there's an entire methodology that can make Claude 100 times more effective? And that's what I'm going to show you in this video, with a complete demonstration, including real recommendations, tests, and prompts to show you how I personally work with PDFs and reports for companies using Claude and how the results are truly different. So stay until the end. We're going to prompt, we're going to use Claude, we're going to make the most of it, and believe me, by the end of the video, you should be an expert in document analysis with Claude. Most people don't know about these methods. Analysis is the most powerful feature on Claude. With Claude, today, you have the option to add here by clicking on the plus sign, a document. And you can have a conversation with it to simply get in-depth analytical answers about that document. So I'm going to upload a document, one that is technical, a bit complex, not straightforward. For example, this is a document, it's a more advanced installation guide. I work with AI agents and all that, but the goal of this video is to show how someone in a company, in a professional setting, has a document, it could be in another language, and wants to extract data from it. So the simplest thing might be to just say, summarize this PDF. But that's the mistake. Why? Because, quite simply, when you start to process an analysis, you have to follow the proper steps. This hierarchy, so the 5 C's, what exactly are they? Let's try to understand them. First, you have to frame it. What does it mean to frame it? It means telling it why I'm reading this document. For whom? What do I want to achieve in the end? So it's like you're giving it a goal, but you're not really asking a question. In other words, you're giving it information. For it to prepare, to tell it overall, this is a document and what is it for, so that it can do what we call an initial scan. And you don't have to ask a question at the beginning. So if I take this document, let's try a little test. I'll give it a small request like this. I'll tell it, here, this is a document in English. You will answer in French, but keep the technical terms and commands in English because I need them to remain in English without translating them. Then here I provide some context. What is the context? I tell it who I am. For example, this is a real case that I do. I tell it I am a trainer. I am preparing a video training based on this guide. The audience is beginners. They don't know technical things like this. But I give it the context. You see, for now, I tell it not to summarize anything. When I send it, of course, I can increase it if I want on Opus 4.8. I can leave it in just medium. There's no need to have a high mode for the first analysis. Then I send this request. When it comes to analysis, generally speaking, we use Opus, which is the most suitable for this. So what it did is it understood what I want. It skimmed through and looked at what's inside. So then what is it? It's attentive. At this point, we're going to move on to something called mapping. And that's important. It's the second C. You'll see that all of this starts with a C, and I'm on the second one, which is also important. Now I can ask it to give me something, the structure, the sections, the levels. And actually, it will give me an overall overview of this project. It's like looking at the map before driving. And that's important, especially when you have a long document. So here I'm going to ask it, I send it this step and I tell it, give me the map of this document. And this is one of the methods, even if you yourself will see the document better and even artificial intelligence starts to structure it. It doesn't attack the content and information directly. And especially for me, since this document is going to be useful and I need to understand it perfectly, it makes sense and it's also educational to see the structure. So, as a result, here I ask it, even to break it down for me by technical level, what's for beginners, intermediate, advanced, and that's it. I simply ask it, even for the format, to give me a table, just to get a bit of an overall view of the sections. And for me, that's a good way to read a technical document. I can see it more clearly, so I see the titles, what needs to be done to get started, the first step, second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on. So it's true that it's technical. It's true that they're looking at my profession, But what's very important for you is that the 5 C's can be applied to any type of document, whether it's a non-technical document, a technical one in your industry, even a marketing document, or really any kind of document. Once a PDF goes beyond a few dozen pages, that's when you start using this approach. And there you go. Now we can start digging deeper. So digging deeper can take several forms. It's not just one way. So here, you need to start asking questions. Either I do it section by section, or I give targeted questions, or I ask it to extract, explain, compare, or critique. That's the real work. You understand that the real work is mostly done on this side. It's not at the beginning and it's not at the end. So I provide the framework so it can understand what it's about, especially from me, the structure, and then I ask the questions. I've even prepared a few questions like this for this document, but of course the questions will change. It all depends. So for example here, if I'm a beginner, I'll ask him, what is this? Socket. For example, that's a word. Just look. That's a technical term that I'm simply going to ask him about here. For example, it's true that he'll answer. He won't leave me without an answer. He will respond. But on the other hand, I'll show you how I can ask a better question as an expert. You see here, he gave me a definition. He's starting to shift into technical things. And that's an analysis, let's say, of the document, but also of his own knowledge. Now look at the expert prompt I can use here. I tell it based solely on this document, so I avoid it going to look for external definitions. I want you to explain to me why this kit is necessary in this architecture. And then I ask it for more details. Which port does it listen to? So here I'm getting into technical aspects, things that I know myself. Then I tell it, explain it to someone, this is important, who has never done networking before, using a real-life analogy, in 150 words maximum, no jargon. So explain. You'll see that here I can raise it to a high level because it's going to go in depth, it's going to cover everything in this document. And you'll see that if it's really going to be a much deeper job. So, as a result, the type of answer here is a much more detailed response. I see that it gives me the example and it respected the 150 words I asked for. So it's different between this answer and the one before. So it all depends on how I write. I can dig even deeper. I can even do more advanced extractions. Look here, I can send it. For example, here, I can move on to the 4th C. It's kind of about converting. That means, what does converting mean here? It simply means I want to turn it into a deliverable, something usable. That means I want it to be in the form of a checklist, a table, a script, a sheet, an email, or a summary. So here I'm basically going to ask it to transform the original PDF format into another format. And that too, of course, I have some templates actually that are going to be about that. Before that, we're simply going to send it a slightly more special question. Look here, I'm going to ask it, play devil's advocate. What are the security risks of the procedure described in this guide? For each risk, cite the exact relevant passage. Explain the risk in one sentence and suggest a safer alternative. You see, here I'm getting its opinion. So here, I'm trying to get it to look at the document from our expert analytical perspective. It's going to help me gather and acquire new information. That's how you work on a PDF file or an analysis. You had to push the intelligence, not just send a message, summarize, or give me the numbers. No, we're trying to guide it so that it's simply an intelligence ready to. So there you go, being able to dive into analyses as if it were an expert in automation or in networking or in whatever field we're in. You see here, the answer it's giving me, it's actually providing the vulnerabilities. So that's very important. As a result, it's giving me the references in the sections and everything. It's telling me, here are the risks and the problems that exist. It's extracting from a standard, simple technical document to information, places where we can have discussions, places where we can simply create reports about it. And now for the deliverable, look, I'm going to ask it to transform steps 1 to 5 of the guide into a deployment checklist in French. And for each step, the command to execute. It's as if this technical guide, I'm going to summarize it into a checklist and steps to follow. There you go. So generally, if I have students, it would be good to give them the checklist at the end of the course. It's much better so they can go and practice and do the same thing in a company setting. I can have documents, I have analyses to provide sources to my employees. The most useful thing today is the checklists, and the commands, of course, all depend on the field. And that's very important, isn't it? What it really is working with artificial intelligence. So we let this step finish in order to move on to the control step, which is also important and optional, but for me, I see it as important as well. So if I look here, if I go back, I can clearly see that it has prepared this checklist for me. Here are some options that I can actually check off. And so with the information and commands, this is another format that I can copy or simply print. If I click here, I can simply print it and illustrate it. So this is another way to view and format our work. I like to finish with the controller. What does it mean to control? This is important. There are a lot of people who don't give enough value to this point. When I have the final document and I want, for example, to share it, it's very important to do what we call the verification, anti-hallucination. Why? Because AI at a certain point becomes affirmative, it confirms things, and it doesn't self-check. So it's as if I'm going to tell it, I give it the document, it extracts information, and I say to it, go ahead, I want you to verify, and in front of each piece of information, indicate the section and the document that says this. So I'll give you an example, you'll understand better. I'll take a very, very simple example. For example, let's say I'll tell it, for instance, I give 3 statements. Okay, here they are. These are 3 technical pieces of information that I see in the document. And I'm going to tell it, I want you to verify them, whether the document confirms them, contradicts them, or says nothing about them. And you must show the section, each time the location where it is confirmed. When I launch this, this is a part of an important final check that will validate everything I've done with the document. And generally, we do this at the end. So always try not to group all the questions together at once because you'll get average answers. Each question should be on its own, and that way it can go in depth. So there you go. Here it tells me contradicted, and here, this is okay, confirmed. It tells me where, and here it tells me, for example, this is also contradicted. There you have it. So these confirmations are very important because sometimes there is this phenomenon where artificial intelligence can sometimes say anything at a certain point without being sure. This is what we call anti-hallucination control, and it's very well known in artificial intelligence. Always do a final check to verify the statements you've received according to the documentation.